This is the wall side leaning hip lock, but this time we're going to do active reps. And this is where it gets a little bit tougher and why it's really important to have the hip in contact with the wall. So again, roughly shoulder width apart from the wall. We don't want to be too wide and leaning in too much, but we don't want to be too close. Now from this position, okay, I'm going to set myself up. I'm very lightly leaning into the wall, got my hip and shoulder in contact. I'm going to start with my knee, maybe at 60 degrees, so lower than this hip, and I've got my ankle, my knee, and my hip on this working leg, all a little bit bent. Now from this position, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the hip in contact with the wall the whole time, this inner hip. I'm going to drive this knee up, and I'm going to punch up through the outer foot, the foot on the outer leg, I should say. So from here, I'm going to drive up and hold for a second, really locking out nice and high with the foot, coming back down, leg comes down as well, punching, keeping in contact with the wall with this hip, coming back down. One more, want to really lock out through and extend through the ankle, through the knee and through the hip here, driving up nice and high. Now again, like the hold where people may go wrong, two things, is that when we come up, that we may come up and lose the hip here. So you can see that the hip goes outwards. We're not really getting that hip to contract. So from here, we want to make sure that when we come up, that hip here is in contact with the wall and we're really pushing through this leg. Okay, so again, driving up, keeping it in contact. The second thing is that we don't want to arch our back. So from here, driving up, locking, 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 and making sure that as we reach, we've got a relatively neutral position through the spine. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to make sure that we're not really compensating through the back.